So my next question, and this is what many of them have expressed, is that what we read in the new presentation is more of theory and less of practice in terms of those kind of would I call them meditative exercises or contemplation exercises or whatever that will create an inner route for the student to reach some higher levels of awareness, to be in contact with the guides and all the like. So some of them think that we're only involved in theorizing, giving out knowledge with little practical work except singing the new sound. So can you address this concern, Duane?
Okay, here's the idea, Charles, and that is that all the new presentation can be, and the new you song, singing the new you can be, is a start to something, just like your dream or the real side. It can only be a start to that. And you can sit in contemplation or meditation all day long. That's fine, but that's something, but that's not it either. So again, as the individual is so-called trying to connect, in other words, here's the idea. These are just literal ideas, trying to connect, do all these things, etc. These are literal ideas. The reality is that we are all already in life. We're not going anywhere. You are where you are. I'm where I am. Here now. It's all here now. And you can surpass all this by simply learning to recognize what is really taking place. So again, when these questions arise, like you put together here, it's in the literal sense, and people are looking at their own personal life only, instead of learning to see the whole of life, the isness that it is. And once a person really starts to understand that, and that takes a lot, it really does. That's why it's taken you millions of lifetimes just to get here to start to look at that. Okay, just to start it. So it's not that it's going to be done in a few weeks or so. It's going to take the rest of your life. That's like starting to become a doctor, wanting to become the doctor, and all of a sudden, you go to 2 or 3 weeks or a couple of months of courses and thinking that, well, gee, when am I going to become the doctor? Why aren't I the doctor? Well, it's going to take you the rest of your life. We're dealing with the whole of life here. Look at the real guys. They've been around for centuries. Neon. They didn't do it overnight. But you see, again, we've been raised and taught and educated a certain way in this world and indoctrinated, thinking that, oh, gee, we can just think of something and it becomes so in the literal sense. Well, how long did it take the sun and the earth to evolve to where it is, to where it's livable, etc.? It had to go through that process. And is that billions of years or whatever, etc.? So again, people step up to this, they read a few things and think, well, I should be able to figure this out because I've been literally educated. So again, how is this looked upon? So the new presentation can only be what it is. It cannot be something that people want it to be or decide it to be. These are the other things of the world. So when people are into religion, they actually decide what God is. They decide what life is, or being a Christian or whatever it is. They decide all that, you see? Now in the new presentation, it's not that. It's not that at all. But you can decide whatever you want, but guess what? That's not it. Not even close. You can't guess it. It's something that you cannot even decide. You might say, yes, you can decide it, but you've got to learn to see it. And you've got to continually learn to see it every moment. It's moment by moment, and it's all here and now. It's really not even in New You sessions. No, that's just to start you off to give you the idea. It's actually in the isness and where your intent is and how you recognize that. That's really what it is. But that's a big step. You know, the old saying, like even Paul said it, when he used the spiritual idea. Spirituality is caught, not taught. Okay? It's not in the so-called teachings or in the education, but this gives a hint because of the literal world. You need that part. You really need that part as a reference. Just like when you go out there in the world, eventually you want to come back home and rest. You need that house to rest in or wherever you do. This makes sense. You make sense of it. And so how is it that the whole of life makes sense with where you're at right now and what's taking place on the world right now? Do you want to buy the marketing ploy that's going on, or do you want to see through it and take on the adventure and the challenge of figuring it out and doing something real? That's your decision. All I can do is present it. The new presentation cannot do anything for anyone. That is a fallacy. What Paul presented and others, they make promises, well, in this lifetime or maybe the next, you'll be free, etc. This is just to get you going. The reality of life is more than any real freedom that you can even decide. And most people, the idea of freedom is because they can choose and do whatever they want. Well, it's their free will that got them in trouble in the first place, but it's really not so. It's cause and effect. We all need to go through it. And they continually want to have their free will with their personal life only. And this is where they keep going in circles and do not understand or see what they're doing, but thinking, with their minds that it should happen for them and there should be some solution somewhere. There should be some absolute answer that resolves everything. Nothing in creation can be resolved. It's all cause and effect. It cannot be resolved. There are no absolutes in creation. And life is an endless isness. You cannot conclude it. You cannot even consider it. But you can learn to see it for what it is. So there's the difference.
Tonton Jeff?
Présent, à l'écoute.
Oui, il a répondu, il a dit que la présentation nous est une nouvelle position. Ça ne peut que être la présentation nous, et ça ne peut pas conformer à ce aux anciennes méthodes et idées. Mais jusque-là, il n'a pas dit comment on peut faire pour voir et comprendre cette réalité. Il dit seulement qu'on doit apprendre à voir et percevoir, c'est tout ça. Bon, donc ça ne peut pas être que ce qui présente. Les gens entendent par là, peut-être qu'ils ne comprennent pas bien cette question parce que pour demander les exercices, ça ne veut pas dire qu'on veut que ça doit être basé sur la vie personnelle. Mais il a dit que les gens pensent seulement aux vies personnelles. Ce n'est pas ça. Et vraiment, je peux te dire que cette manque des exercices-là, ça nous laisse seulement dans la théorie. Comment toi-même tu vois ça, je ne sais pas, mais c'est ce que je vois et je lui ai demandé aujourd'hui encore dans une autre manière et il a encore parlé comme ça, je ne sais plus quoi faire. Je ne sais plus quoi dire. Donc, on va laisser comme ça, chacun pour soi. Le jour que tu vois ça bien, tu peux me taper que tu as perçu le is bien. Et tout ça, tu me dis comment je peux me débrouiller.
Comment font les autres, Eva, les autres comment ils font pour... Parce qu'il dit demander à le bazar ou à Eva ou à d'autres, il cite les noms des gens. Qu'est-ce qu'ils font
Je ne sais pas. Il ne faut même pas qu'on...
Avec,
il paraît que la proximité avec le maître, ça compte. Je ne sais pas. Je ne veux pas entrer dans ces détails-là parce que tu n'es même pas sûr qu'il le voit.
Mais ça va décourager beaucoup de gens. Quand, vous voyez, j'ai à mon nom posé cette question dans l'introduction des livres 1, Book 1, il dit si vous n'avez jamais, si vous lisez les livres concernant l'avion, vous lisez comment piloter l'avion, vous ne deviendrez pas pilote, mais il faut palper du doigt l'avion pour pouvoir conduire. Et maintenant, si nous n'arrivons pas à palper du doigt, comment est-ce qu'on va... Je ne sais pas si vous vous rappelez de
oui, je me rappelle.
Passage-là. Utiliser un peu ces passages-là pour qu'il nous montre comment on peut devenir des pilotes, qu'on entre dans l'avion, qu'on pilote l'avion pour voler. Et nous laisser toujours dans la lecture de livres, on ne deviendra jamais pilote. Si vous pouvez...
Ok, je vais lui condenser ça. Ok.
Une autre façon de lui demander.
Ok.
Allez-y, je ferme.
Ok, d'accord.